So we can see the final setup we got for Stroll right here. We can see the cornering still is at optimal and the other stuff is at great or good, which gives us 85%. That's pretty decent, I think. Hello people. Today I'm at Australia here and I want to show you how practice in F1 Manager 2022 works. We'll just continue on, go to first practice. We can leave these things untouched. The car part knowledge is already improved quite a bit because I have cars tested in the other practice sessions, but that is something that happens passively, so just ignore it for now. This is how practice sessions work. First, you need to manage the practice session to actually do something in the practice session. And the goal of the practice session is to get a good setup and get some knowledge about the track, car and setup itself. Mostly the setup itself. So, we have a run plan, and that run plan allows our drivers to assess the setup and tell us what could be improved or not. If we make run plan shorter, then they likely won't tell us everything about the setup that they can, but we have a shorter plan and we can do more setup changes or drive out more laps. So first let's just send out Seb to get some initial data. That isn't actually the best thing you can do, just sending people out, but we'll do it for him for now so we can get a baseline of understanding stuff. Okay. For Stroll, we go to his car setup. He's on the soft tires. We can choose any tire we want. Actually, we probably should choose the tire that's fine for the session. We have a lot of soft tires, so we can use some of them. We can also use one hard and one medium, but remember we only have 2 hards and 3 mediums, so if we use all of them up now in practice, we don't have any for the race. That's why it's wise to use soft tires. Then we can go to the car setup. That is the interesting thing that will keep us occupied in the session. And we can just go and change these things here to get the car setup where it needs to be. So in the optimal setup range, somewhere there is the perfect setup we are searching for. So if we just change a few things, for example, the anti-roll distribution, you can see traction goes way out here, and it's probably not what we search for. So our goal is to get somewhere in, let's say, the middle, or somewhere in the optimal range. It could be anywhere, and see how our setup improves. Things to notice: the optimal range gets lower and lower the more laps and the more knowledge your driver got about the car. And you can see these light blue marked things are the things that are changing when I'm hovering over the actual thing I'm changing. So let's say I don't want to change anything except for cornering and stability, then I can change the toe out. If I want to change anything but the straights, I can go for the tire camber. Also, everything changes a bit differently depending on what you change. For example, the anti-roll distribution, you can see traction changes a lot, but cornering doesn't change very much. So there's the balance you can find in searching for your setup. So once we have a decent setup, we can confirm. It will take a while to reconfigure. Seb is already out and getting info in. Or at least there he goes. And you can practically speed this up without problem. You can micromanage them. I don't think it really does anything too useful. So we'll ignore that for now. Seb's already collecting information. Stroll still needs to reconfigure his car because the setup reconfiguration takes quite a bit. You have usually, if you do a 15 lap run plan, you have usually time to... By the way, the run plan can be set up here for the run length. 15 laps usually get you all the information about your current setup and are long enough to make 2 big runs in every practice session. We can Stroll out now. We have 1 hour for each practice session, I think. And it will take roughly half an hour plus or like 35 minutes for driving and another 5 minutes for doing the setup change. So again, let's speed up. We don't really need to see that. And soon our drivers will tell us about their setup. You can see Vettel already gained some track acclimatization. Stroll already got some, not Stroll, Vettel also get some more car knowledge, and 2 out of 5 setup things Seb can already tell us about if he liked the setup or not. You can see setup confidence. There he is. He can tell us about 3 parts now. If we call him in now, we get information about 3 of the 5 setup things. We have straights or traction or whatever. If we get all 5 of them, he can tell us how confident he is in his current setup. That's what the blue triangles are for.
What's your thoughts on coming in or doing any more?
What a miss.
Copy.
Okay, Seb isn't happy with setup. We can now get him in. Oh no, car spun. We can get him in, but that isn't very important. We can just leave him to finish his run plan, and then he will drive in himself.
Copy.
So, in theory, I think we could already pull him in, but sometimes it takes a bit longer to see if the setup is fine. Sometimes it takes a bit less. And well, let's speed up again. You can see soon Vettel will come in. There he goes, heading to garage. Stroll soon can tell us about his setup. And now we need to be a bit faster. You can see things change a lot. Good is decent, bad is bad. And the best one is optimal. There is great also. You could have great setup, but we aim for an optimal setup. That is the highest thing you can get there, and it's like in light blue. I hope I can show it to you soon. So let's see. Change everything, especially the traction and the cornering, because those are the ones he didn't really like at all. And let's see. We are fine on straights. Let's see, change this a bit. Okay, let's just try this one out. You can always revert to your highest confidence run setup if you sometimes mess up and do a change you don't really want to do, or if your setup is 1% worse or something. So no worries, you can always revert it right here. Otherwise you need to pick a new set of tires, because you can't do it on this compound, the run plan, because the lifetime would just run out these tires. So just choose a new compound. We can choose anything. I probably won't need 2 sets of hard, so I just fit the hard now. The harder the tire, the more setup laps you can do, because as you can see, the expected life lap of a soft compound is 17 laps, even if we still have 5 left after our 15 lap run plan. But that's just the expected thing, so you probably can't do more than 17 laps, or not many more. So if you want to do a big amount of laps for track acclimatization, just choose hard tires. So this will take a while again. So we'll be heading in soon, and then we'll change his car.
A lot of graining on the front.
Stroll's complaining a bit because tires are falling under 20%, 30%.
How many laps am I going to get on these?
Not many more, Stroll, not many more. Okay. As you can see, he didn't drive out long enough, so let's see. We have 33 minutes remaining, and the run plan does take us 23 minutes. No wait, that's just time to reconfigure. Anyway, we can put in a bit more fuel, and I think it takes us... Oh wait, we can actually see how long it took us. Because we had 1 hour at the start, and we have 33 minutes now, so we can put in a bit more fuel and probably have enough to actually finish the run plan. Just put them on hards as well and change the setup a bit. Cornering and brake stability is pretty bad, so let's just put it somewhere else. If you have a hunch where it could be, then you can already put it at a point that is close to what you think would be good. But since I have basically no clue, or I just pretend I have no clue, I just put them anywhere. They could be anywhere in the optimal range. They can be at the very left edge here, or they could be at the very right edge here, so they're not in the middle every time. As you can see, this one is, or these ones are somewhat in the middle and they are bad. This one is very far to the right and it's great, so don't rely on just picking the middle of them. Okay. Confirm Stroll's reconfiguration. Vettel is nearly done. As soon as they're done, send out. If you want to save a tiny bit of time, I suggest to you, once you're done, or once you're close to being done with the reconfiguring, you should change the speed down from 16 to, let's say, 1. Because the animation has the same speed on every speed, so you actually waste a bit of time watching the animation on 16 times speed compared to 1 time speed.
What's your thoughts, Sebastian, on coming in or doing any more?
It doesn't react.
Copy.
Okay, Seb still isn't happy with the setup. That is totally fine. We'll fix that in the next few sessions. Okay, Seb is done already. Yeah, okay, a lot of things are bad for him. We changed this, we changed that, and everything will be great. So, you should try to keep close to the great ones, because they are great, and so they will probably be good for the setup. And if they are bad, you can try to go to the other end of the optimal range. So I think I'm fine with this. If we keep the same compound, we save a bit of time. Just keep the same run plan. And maybe we can send him out again in P1. Stroll's already doing a few more laps, but he also needs them. Tell us about the setup.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's okay.
Okay, Stroll likes the setup, or at least thinks it's okay. But we're leaving him out a bit for his plan, so his plan was long enough to get all the information. Can reconfigure the setup. The oversteer is quite bad, so let's get the front wing angle in a different state. Let's try this one. Fit a new set of tires, because I don't think he can manage to make it out. Yeah, he won't manage to make it out. Oh, and since Stroll's run plan is longer, he also needs another compound. As you can see, this one is not good enough. Soft compound not good enough. You can use the hard again, but the time conflict will keep us from driving out an tire. Okay, that was the first practice session. You can look at your results here, they don't really matter, to be honest. Maybe for your sponsor objective or something, be first in practice session, but for us they don't really matter. Okay, we don't have any clue for setup confidence, because we didn't drive the newest setup out at all right now. So let's get to second setup, second practice.
Yeah, I'm clear.
We still have the setup we wanted to have.
Should be green now.
So let's just go out on these tires and run Seb. And the setup from earlier is also still for Lance. There it is. And get him out on some soft tires. Send him out. And get them used to the track. Then we wait a bit, let them in again, see if we can improve the setup, and send them out again. And that is basically practice. That's all you have to do.
Sebastian, any thoughts on setup options?
Car was good. All good here.
Copy that, understood.
As you can see, Seb is now getting comfortable with the setup. It's better, it's not a mess anymore.
Is it working what we're doing?
Okay. Oh, there we go. We improved a bit again. Now, the straights are still not very good. Let's try this. Let's try it this way. And get him a new fresh of softs. A set of softs.
Rear is it dropping?
Stroll didn't get full setup confidence because the run was too short. Yeah, we ignore that. He's heading to the garage anyway now. Okay, let's reconfigure Stroll's car. Let's go for the mediums and let's look at the plan. The car setup. Okay. The best was somewhere outside here. Why is that bad now? Okay. Stroll setup is all over the place. Just try this and see where we get. Okay, did we get some... Oh no, cancel. Did we get something? Okay, that's everything. Everything there is great, and he doesn't know about the oversteer, but it is probably better than earlier. Can just get him out on these same... Great is not optimal, but great is pretty good. Okay, yeah. Let's get him out on new softs and let him try again. Now we are kind of dilemma. We could fiddle a bit with the other stuff, but I think we're pretty good actually. So since everything is great, it's the second best thing. So let's just give him a new set of tires and set him out again to see how the setup stacks up. 100% setup confidence is the best. And we'll see in a second what we'll get. But as you can see, Seb's run plan was too short to see the full extension of the setup. Okay, Stroll, what is up with your setup? There we go, optimal in one aspect. Okay, let's get some rear wing angle going here. And just try out the setup again. Just stick to the mediums. See where it brings us. Okay, session is ending. There we go. Continue on. 79%. That's not too bad, but I think we can do a little bit more.
Our race weekend continues as we head into FP3 and then qualifying. Whoever said every second counts clearly hadn't revelled in the sport of Formula One, where grid positions can be decided by thousandths of a second. The drivers competing today are amongst the finest in the world, but the margins are even finer. And as you can probably guess, there is no margin for error. Let the competition commence.
Okay. Let's go to P3.
Radio check.
Yeah, loud and clear.
We're still a bit bad on oversteer, but everything else is great. We're bad on oversteer, so let's change it quite a bit. Okay. There you go, that could be good. Let's see, let's try this one. Go on soft tires, run a few laps longer to get the actual info we want, and be sent out pretty soon. Okay, you have no clue about your current setup, except that one part is great. Let's change it up a bit. Actually, no, you would be out of the setup range there. Okay, you know what, Stroll? Just do this. Should be fine. Okay. Okay.
How does it feel?
Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's okay.
Okay, Stroll likes the
Copy that.
setup. Still has some run plan left, but he gets acclimatized to track quite a bit more, so keep him out.
Okay, tires are.
Copy that.
How many laps am I gonna get on these?
There's a few more. Okay. We were at optimal a tiny bit earlier. The traction is actually great. Okay. Okay, this seems like it could work, maybe. Let's try this one.
What's your thoughts, Sebastian, on coming in or doing any more?
Car was good. All good here.
Copy.
Okay, let's try this one.
I'm not happy with the grip.
Yeah, copy that. Struggling with tyres.
Copy.
Is it working what we're doing? How's the balance?
Yeah, good job with the car.
Copy that.
Okay, since I'm not sure if I can improve it by changing it here, I think I just revert to the best setup we have currently. That's 79%, that's good enough, I think. Especially since we have the track acclimatization. So let's keep it this way. Stroll will be heading back soon as well.
Okay, and all the way to 0. All the way to 0.
That's the end of P3. We'll see how we did with Stroll setup. At 85%, that's pretty good. You can see performance bonus, Stroll got quite the big bonus everywhere. Vettel's setup confidence wasn't that great, so he didn't get that big of bonus. But now we would head on to qualifying, and that is how practice works. So we can see the final setup we got for Stroll right here. We can see the cornering still is at optimal and the other stuff is at great or good, which gives us 85%. That's pretty decent. I think everything above 80 is pretty good to work with. Under 80 is kinda to be improved, could be better. But yeah, 85% is pretty good. We have an optimal cornering that is very good. If we get everything optimal, that would be perfect, but that is kinda hard. So we'll take what we have here, and this is basically a good setup now. Hope I could teach you something. I see you in the next one. Bye bye.